Hey everyone, in this video we'll be reviewing Footcruiser. It is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collaboration tank. It is a mid-tier Era 2 premium Eastern Alliance heavy tank and also the first tank in Cold War to feature dual barrel mechanic. So let's get started with the setup that I'm using for this tank. I'm using Bond Leader, Rapid Loading, Snapshot, 6 Sense, Armor Angling, Controlled Impact, Track Mechanics, Steady Aim, and off-road driving. For my equipment, I'm using gun stabilizer, improved ventilation, and enhanced missile warning system. For consumable, I'm using enhanced med kit, enhanced repair kit, and enhanced rations. Looking at the armor, it is very similar, if not identical, to the SG2 armor model in World War II. It is an okay armor. The tank, it says it's a mid-tier, but to be honest, the tank plays like a top-tier tank. And the armor is the only thing that I might say that kind of acts like a mid-tier heavy that you might get penned here and there, and then sometimes you might bounce the shot. Again, the tank has okay armor. You will still get penned with the Leopards or premium APCR tanks. However, you have strong enough side armor as well as the rear armor where you can block a lot of shots from the autocannons as well as block majority of the shots, if not all, from the Gatling guns, as you even have armor in the backside and they won't be able to pen you easily as it's 100 mm of back armor. But frontally you can get penned, as I said, not only from premium APCR but even the standard shells if they aim at your lower plate as well as if they aim at the weak spots like driver's hatch facing up front as well as your commander hatch. Looking at the module view, we have engine at the back, ammo rack, the back of the turret as well as the center, and then we have 4 members of the crew that sits in the turret and 1 in the driver hatch. So now let's look over stats and if this tank is broken or balanced. The top speed has 56, power to weight 20, hit points of 3200. That's the maximum, if I'm not mistaken, that I've seen in Era 2. And that's what kind of confuses me, how this tank is a mid-tier tank. But in fact, that's actually a good thing because that means even though the tank is a top tier or play likes top tier, it is cheaper. The top tier tanks cost 12.5k gold, the mid tier cost 11,000, and you can get it at 25% discount, so you can get the tank for 8,500 gold. And in addition, because you are mid tier, you get higher silver bonus when you shoot top tier tanks. But in reality, in no way this is a mid tier tank. This is a top tier tank and plays like one and is available at a solid price as well after discount. And since it's a collaboration tank, it probably will be available a couple more times, but we don't know what kind of discount will be available. So if you like the tank, you have to make your decision what you want to buy, which tank you want to buy, because there's another Cold War premium as well. And this one, when I played it, I really enjoyed the tank. As I said, 3200 hit points, 32 degrees of turret rotation, view range is 546 after all the equipment that I have. But the key component here is the dual barrel mechanic. So both guns have 8 degrees gun depression, 20 degrees gun elevation, as well as 0.3 accuracy, 9.64 seconds of base DPM, and 0.27 accuracy at 100 meters, and 0.3 was during turret rotation. So very solid accuracy as well. Both guns get 30 ammo capacity. The first one is APDS, second is heat, and third is ATGM. Average damage per minute is down to 3,300. Penetration 401 for APDS, 524 heat, and 600 for ATGM. The alpha is 540 for the first 2 rounds and 890 for ATGMs. APDS goes 1620, heat goes slow. And the setup that I have, I just have the APDS. I don't even have heat because the pen is solid enough. 401 is solid enough for me to pen any heavy tanks. And then I have some ATGM. You can only have 4 ATGMs, so I have both of them. And the game I played, actually, I forgot to even switch to ATGMs as I was fighting up close. I didn't want to fight at distance as I will get missiled. I was fighting up close to the heavy tanks. And the tank has dual barrel mechanic, which means I can keep firing barrel 1, barrel 2, barrel 1, barrel 2. And I have a really high firepower. In addition, at times, I can just fire both guns at the same time as well. So in theory, I can either have an autoloader gun that has 540 alpha and 3 seconds of interclip, or I can have a single shot which has 1080 alpha, and you have to pay a penalty because it's a double barrel mechanic. If you're firing single shot, your shell starts reloading as soon as you fire. So it's just a better auto reloader. But if you fire both shells, there's a penalty of about 4 seconds where nothing happens, nothing is reloading. But that's the cost you pay when you fire the double barrel guns to do that higher damage. And usually, if you're not in an engagement for a while, it's better to fire the double barrel. But if you're in the active engagement, you go with the single shot and just let your gun reload while you're firing the other one. So same identical stats for the second gun as well. Do keep in mind your actual DPM for a minute is not 3359 G2. It is not 6700. It is essentially 3359 plus 540, which is 3900 as it catches up over time. But it's more about the engagement DPM because when the engagement happens, you're always reloading, right? So you always have either one gun or loaded or the second gun loaded. So you always have that advantage that you're just not wasting time, for example, in a single shot, right? And when you have both barrel loaded, you can just out trade them or you can out DPM them, whatever you want. You have both these options. So the strong power or point of this gun for the tank is the firepower, and that's how you play this tank and just dominate the battlefield. In short, the tank is very well balanced, and those people that don't play World War II, now they have a chance to play a tank that has a dual barrel mechanic and enjoy that as well. As this tank isn't as sluggish as the World War II counterpart, and it's much more enjoyable because World War II tank was also nerfed. So when I played it, I really liked it. And I also like the tanks. The heavier tanks just helps the era to meta. It helps the matchmaking. The games are more enjoyable. They aren't just run and gun, those autocannons just destroying or making it unplayable. These kind of tanks, I just love when these are introduced because not only are they heavy, they have these unique mechanics. They have an interesting gameplay. And in addition, for me, I also actually like the skin on the tank. I love these plasticky, unique skins. Not a fan of those plain paint jobs. So definitely a balanced and a solid tank, a mid-tier that plays like a top-tier tank. So let's see how this tank actually performs in the battlefield. We are in Nebelberg, and as soon as the match started, I decided to go towards the middle. It's a very solid position, as you can either play a support role or holding role, where you're preventing enemy team to take the middle, and at the same time your team can easily cover you from the sniping hill. And if enemy doesn't come in the middle, then you can easily just take over the mid, or if you have more numbers. And once you take control of the middle, you can cover a lot of different angles. You can shoot at their spawn, you can cover or shoot A line or K line, and of course you can also cover your own sniping hill as well. And as you notice, as I was going forward, the tank has decent mobility. It doesn't feel sluggish like FV4211, so you won't feel that much frustrated. And not to mention, the tank has just beautiful gun and a unique mechanic. For first engagement, I switched to double barrel, 1048 damage, and as you can see, there's a penalty where no gun is reloading. It's about 4 seconds, and that's the cost you pay for higher alpha. Now I'm going to switch to single shot because no one really punished me from their spawn, so I felt more confident that I have time and I can engage in a DPM battle. And as you notice, as soon as I fire, the shell started reloading immediately. So you have better DPM when using single shot. But if you know you won't have an active engagement for a while, you can use double shot and you can win with trades as well. And also when you're low on HP, you don't want to use single shot, you can use the dual barrel as well to limit your exposure time. T70M1 gets spotted. He's driving in the middle, switching to single shot. But it looked like dual here because I'm 68-2 and myself fired at the same time. But I'm still using the single shot. Centurion playing very aggressive. He is playing with fire. It's not a regular tank, as I mentioned. I have 2, not 1 gun. And they're always reloading, always ready. Leopard 1 gets spotted, a juicy target, and I missed. I jinxed myself over there. Not a problem, I have a second shell ready, and my teammate blocks it. Things cannot go any better in this situation. But it happens, nonetheless. I managed to pen the Leopard. He tried to pen me, he bounced. I got basically lucky there. Weird angles that he ended up bouncing on me, but I can easily pen him. Our medium is missing, It would have been better if I hadn't missed my first 2 shots, because, you know, that's where you have the max DPM. He got in cover, but took another shot of damage. Trying to find a 100% pen here as soon as I'm loaded. Unfortunately, he got in cover. 3600 damage though. And our team is losing by 4 tanks. Not a problem though, as I said. I'm in the middle, they can't really cap. And I got lucky here. Shot Leopard, set him on fire. But surprisingly, he was running fire extinguisher. Who runs fire extinguisher in this game though? Very surprised. Stingray peeks, a shot into him. I should have actually used both barrels here, because I know once I shoot him, he'll fall back and I won't see him for a while. So that was a mistake there. But that's the decision making. You have to, you know, always be alert. What's the right move? Of course, you always won't make 100% of the right decisions, but you just have to do your best, and that's how you maximize the potential of Footcruiser. They have a Leopard at our spawn. Not sure what he's doing there. Put a shot into him. I think I set him on fire as well, and he goes down. We're still losing by 3 tanks. 125 try to run away, put a shot into his side. It has decent accuracy and gun handling as well, like most tanks in Era 2. So not much of an issue. Shells always go where you aim. Gao gets spotted. He's not really a threat to me, Gao, because I have armor everywhere towards the side and back. M68 2 gets spotted, and a beautiful double barrel into him. He gets set on fire. However, I made a mistake because I thought he'll die. However, he's still alive, and we're losing 4-6. Weasel gets spotted. A 530 shot into him, bringing my damage total to 7400 damage. We lost another tank, and they have healthier tanks. The Gao is healthy. The Leopard 2AV is healthy. However, Leopard 2AV gets overconfident, decided to drive in the open. I got a bit greedy here. I could see free damage, and I didn't want to miss the opportunity like I did when I was facing Leopard, as I missed a shot. However, I drove forward and ended up being a victim of, not only did I get hit by M68 too, but that Weasel came behind me and started punishing me. And that's where that armor I was talking about, that it's stronger against the auto cannons or Gatling guns. If I was in any other tank, I would have probably died, as Weasel doesn't take that long to delete a tank. But the armor helped. Not the greatest armor getting ATGM, so as I was saying, you might bounce here and there, but again, is there any tank in R2 that can really bounce ATGMs? So always have to be careful. I was going for his actually side, and decided to use a single barrel, as I thought he would just keep pushing. But not only did I bounce the shot, and then he retreated. So I was regretting my decision here again. But nonetheless though, their light tank gets greedy and he's pushing our heavy. We have one tank at the spawn, that is Airstorm, and then another tank that's forward. Took the revenge on M68 too. He's down, and now I don't have to worry about any major threats, as he could have put a missile into me for like 1000+ damage, but I don't have to worry about that now. Put a shot into Leopard AV as well as RDF, and RDF is one shot now. Overextending to shoot Leopard 2AV, unfortunately bounced. Gao is trying to pen me, but not much he can do. As I said, the side armor is pretty solid as well. RDF gets greedy, he's out of the game. RDF was one of the threats, as he does have premium APCR, and he can pen me reliably and do decent damage if left ignored. BZ is down to one shot. Airstorm is still at the spawn, making sure we don't get flanked. Well, that's good for me because I can farm damage, as he had lost some HP early on and decided to play more passive. Tracked the AV and then finished him. Now Gao is still full health, and 125 is one shot. I'm at 10,000 damage, waiting for Gao to peek so I can punish. Rushed the shot there and missed out on damage. And at this point I'm like, okay, I have to be aggressive. I can be aggressive because the medium is one shot, and then Gao, like, he can't really pen me. All he'll do is like a little bit of damage and get overheat, and I can just finish him. So decided to push forward, as well as Airstrom is pushing as well. And Gao, lucky for me, he also pushed the same area. Put a first shot into him. Decided for the second, but somehow bounced. That's kind of weird when that happens. And as you see, Gao wasn't able to do much to me. The medium gets spotted, took him out of the battle at 10,000 damage with 4 kills. Unfortunately for me, he throws smoke, but didn't really matter because I'm still reloading. It's not like I'm not doing anything. So push forward as soon as he's spotted. That's the first shot, as well as light ram. Second gun is loaded. Another ram, and took him out of the battle. Nonetheless, beautiful game. 12,000 damage with 4 kills. And as I said, the mechanic kind of adds spice to that too as well. And because it's heavy tank, it's not an auto cannon or missile, it just doesn't break the matchmaking while still providing an enjoyable experience. It's a balanced tank, and I would recommend you should buy the tank if you are a Cold War player, that this tank might not be available again, and it is at a discount. So think and evaluate if you want this tank or not, because it is kind of a limited time. That's it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one, and also make sure to check out our community clan as well as Discord if you're not already in there. So have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.